Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, ministers, members of parliament, representatives of the Serbian and Australian governments, business leaders and community members. On behalf of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce and the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia, it is my great honour to welcome you to the first conference of the Serbian diaspora in Australia. My name is Tatjana Panturović. I am the former treasurer of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce. I work as a senior data and AI specialist at Amazon Web Services, and I'm also the host of the Moonshot podcast. Today, I have the privilege to host this event as your MC. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. This conference is a landmark initiative. Our mission is to unite Serbian communities across Australia, strengthen our cultural identity, and forge connections between Serbia and Australia. Through dialogue, collaboration, and the exchange of knowledge, we aim to unlock opportunities in trade, investment, innovation, and cultural development, igniting the pride in our heritage while empowering future generations to shape our shared future. Bringing a vision like this to life requires partnership, dedication, and a shared belief in the future we are building together. It is my privilege now to acknowledge all of those who have made this summit possible. First, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia, Office for Cooperation with Diaspora and the Serbs in the region, thank you for your support and co-financing, which have been essential in making today a reality. Turning to our organisers, the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce, together with the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia in Australia, have worked tirelessly to organise this conference. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the volunteers whose efforts behind the scenes have ensured the success of this historic event. We are also honoured to be joined by our distinguished guests and speakers, minister and high-level officials from both Australia and Serbia, along with panellists who will share their perspectives across business, politics, innovation, and culture. To our sponsors, we extend our sincere thanks. Our platinum sponsor, In Safe Hands, is Australia's most trusted safety education provider, delivering training to employees across more than 1,000 government, corporate, and non-for-profit organisations. We'd also like to extend our sincere thank you to our silver sponsors, HR Consultancy Group, Design Q, Strongman & Crouch, Vino Anu, and Felix Partners. Your support has played a vital role in bringing this event to life. In the spirit of that generosity, we have two exclusive offers that are being extended to all attendees of the conference today. Many of our consultancy-based sponsors are offering complimentary consultations, which you can access by connecting with them throughout the day and formal communications that will be sent following the event. In addition, the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce is offering all attendees an exclusive 3-month free membership. Please reach out to the ASCC team to take up this offer. And finally, to all of you, your presence is what gives true meaning to this summit. You represent the strength and diversity of our community, united by heritage and driven by a shared purpose. May today ignite new connections, new opportunities, and enduring relationships that strengthen the Serbian-Australian community, honouring our heritage while building a shared future for generations to come. We begin with the official opening of the conference, which will shortly commence with the national anthems of Serbia and Australia. Opening addresses from the President of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce, His Excellency the Ambassador, senior government officials from both Australia and Serbia, and an address and blessing from His Eminence Metropolitan Siluan. Following these sessions, we'll move into 3 focused panels. Our first panel this morning will explore the Serbian community in Australia as a bridge for cooperation between the Republic of Serbia and Australia. After lunch, the second panel will examine economy, innovation, and diaspora engagement in trade and investment. And in the afternoon, our third and final panel will focus on preserving national and cultural identity in Australia through generations. We'll conclude the day with closing remarks at 4:30 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite you all to please rise for the national anthems of Serbia and Australia.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, and let us sing, advance Australia
Ladies and gentlemen, could I please ask you to remain standing for the opening prayer? It is now my honour to invite Father Miodrag Peric and His Eminence Metropolitan Siluan to the stage to read the prayer and bless today's event.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, O Heavenly King, the Comforter, the Spirit of Truth, who are everywhere and fill all things, treasury of blessings and giver of life, come and abide in us, and cleanse us from every impurity, and save our souls, O Good One. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, both now and ever, and to the ages of ages. Amen. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. Holy Master, bless.
Lord Jesus Christ, bless this gathering and the deliberations of your servants, for you are holy always, now and ever, and unto the ages of ages.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. And now, to officially open the conference, it is my privilege to introduce Mr. Stanislav Saša-Savić, President and founder of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce. Saša established the Chamber to strengthen trade, investment and socio-economic ties between Serbia and Australia. He is also a senior finance and tax leader with over 25 years of international experience, having held executive roles with KPMG, BP, Shell Viva Energy, and Macmillan Shakespeare. Today, as Director of Felix Partners, he leads a next-generation tax and finance practice, advising CEOs, CFOs, and boards. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Saša-Savić.
Thank you, Tatiana, for a great introduction and for leading on this morning. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dobro jutro I dobro nam došli. Good morning and welcome to everyone. On behalf of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce, it is my great honour to welcome you to the first Serbian Diaspora Summit in Australia. The conference is jointly organised by the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce, the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia, and is proudly co-financed by the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia. Today is a landmark event, the one that reflects the growing strength of the Serbian-Australian relationship and the community and the maturity of the relationship that we have today. It's a combination of what started as a very simple idea a couple of months ago to create a platform that continually strengthens the role of the Serbian diaspora in multicultural Australia and builds a lasting bridge between our two countries. Yeah. Thank you to each of you, Your Excellencies, government representatives, the clergy, business leaders, academics, cultural figures and community advocates for supporting this amazing initiative. Your presence underscores just how far we have come together as a group. I'd like to take a few moments to reflect on the journey of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce. Many of you may not know the organisation. Before we explore this amazing program, I just wanted to say a few words. Next year, Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce will celebrate its 10th anniversary. We began as a small volunteer-run organisation and we've turned into something that's built social, cultural and economic links between Australia and Serbia. We're a group of individuals with a strong sense of purpose who above all love what we do. We started from very humble beginnings at a time when bilateral trade and engagement were a relatively low base. Over the past decade, we have laid the foundations for growth, creating a platform that connects businesses, governments and individuals across both countries. In partnership with the Republic of Serbia, in partnership with the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia in Canberra and the Embassy of Australia in Belgrade, Global Victoria, and various other ministries and departments in both nations, many of our members and the Chamber executive team that are here today have worked tirelessly to elevate the Australia-Serbia relationship over the last 10 years. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the key achievements. According to DFAT data, the trade between Australia and Serbia has increased steadily over the last 10 years, reflecting stronger engagement from government and the private sector. We've built an amazing network of companies and individuals with representations in Melbourne, Sydney and Belgrade. The Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce successfully operates in Serbia as well as here in Melbourne and Sydney, enabling us to better support the growing presence of Australian businesses entering already present in the Serbian market. We have recently invigorated the member framework engagement program, ensuring members received tailored value and opportunities to connect. We continue to collaborate and act as a knowledge bank for major corporates both in Australia and Serbia, exploring partnerships for bilateral growth. We continue to deliver industry-focused seminars, webinars and networking events that continue to inform and connect our members in both countries. And last but not the least important, we have embarked into a new sphere, engaging in flagship partnerships such as the one in Melbourne and Sydney, where we've recently, in collaboration with the NBL, hosted the basketball club Partizan connecting sport, culture and business for the first time. These achievements represent more than just milestones. They are evidence of momentum of a community determined to create an opportunity and impact. Now, I'll turn my attention to today's summit, and thank you again for being with us here today. It's a historic event, bringing together in excess of 110 prominent guests and 3 focus panels. That is why we are so proud that the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce was entrusted with the responsibility to jointly organise the event together with the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia, and it's an opportunity not just for the Chamber to use that momentum to drive the economic activity, but for the broader Serbian community in Australia overall to continue to engage in Australian civic life while preserving its national heritage. My heartfelt thanks goes to His Excellency Ambassador Rade Stefanović and his dedicated team, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia, in particular Mr. Damјan Јovиć, who's travelled from Serbia to be with us here today, and whose efforts and support for the project have been instrumental in bringing this summit to life. We also extend our sincerest gratitude to our loyal members and sponsors for supporting this event. A special thank you to the organising committee, specifically Mr. Goran Droždibov, for pulling all this together, and a team of amazing volunteers who continue to help us along here today at the hotel. But the summit is not about today, it's about the future. Our vision for the Serbia Diaspora Summit in Australia is to become an ongoing initiative, a platform that continually strengthens the role of the Serbian diaspora in multicultural Australia and builds a lasting bridge between our 2 countries. And this is where I extend a call to action to all of you today. We welcome you all to participate in today's discussions and provide us with your valuable feedback and direction going forward. To individuals and companies, we welcome you to be part of this growing network to help us shape the future of Australia-Serbia relations. I think together we can expand on those opportunities in trade, education, culture and community, leaving a legacy for generations to come. In my closing remarks, today, let's share some ideas, form some partnerships, commit to building something that will endure. Thank you for being part of these historic occasions, and I look forward to the insights and opportunities that will emerge throughout the day. Hvala vam puno I želim vam uspešan summit. Thank you, and I'm wishing you a very successful day.
Thank you, Mr. Sasha Savic, for officially opening today's conference and for your leadership in strengthening ties between Serbia and Australia. It is now my great honour to invite His Excellency Mr. Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to the Commonwealth of Australia, to deliver the welcome address. Throughout his distinguished diplomatic career, His Excellency Mr. Stefanović has worked to strengthen Serbia's international relationship and to support Serbian communities around the world. He is a career diplomat serving for almost 25 years. His presence with us today underscores the importance that Serbia places on its partnership with Australia and its diaspora, and the opportunities that come from closer engagement between our 2 nations. Please welcome His Excellency Mr. Rade Stefanović.
Thank you. Vaše visoko preosveštenstvo, Your Eminence, Archbishop of Sydney and Wellington, Metropolitan of Australia and New Zealand, Mr. Siluan, Ms. Tanya Lawrence, MP, Federal Member for Hasluck, representing the Honourable Dr. Anne Ali, MP, Minister for International Development, Minister for Small Business, Minister for Multicultural Affairs, the Honourable Natalie Hutchins, Minister for Government Services, Minister for Treaty and First Peoples, Minister for Prevention of Family Violence, Minister for Women, representing the Honourable Jacinta Allen, MP, Premier of Victoria, Mr. Evan McCulland, Member for Northern Metropolitan Region, Shadow Minister for Major Projects, Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs, Shadow Minister for Arts and Creative Industry, representing Mr. Brad Batten, MP, Leader of the Opposition in Victoria, dear Ambassador Damjan Јовиć, State Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia, Senator Antić, Senator for South Australia, Mr. Lee Terlamis, Member of Victorian Legislative Council, Ms. Clara Andrić, member of the Legislative Council of Western Australia, Mr. Jakov Rogan, Consul General of the Republic of Serbia in Sydney, dear local councillors from Dandenong, Bringbank, Fairfield, prečasni i časni oci, very reverend fathers, drage učiteljice, dear teachers of the Serbian language schools throughout Australia, dear representatives of Serbian association and organizations in Australia, members of the Australian-Serbian Commerce Chamber, dragi sunarodnici, dragi gosti, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen. Veliko mi je zadovoljstvo da vas sa ovog mesta sve pozdravim u ime Ambasade Republike Srbiјe u Australiji, u ime mojih koleginica i kolega i naravno u svoje lično ime povodom održavanja prve konferencije srpske dijaspore u Australiji. Having in mind all present guests, please allow me to continue in English. It is my great pleasure to greet you all on behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia to the Commonwealth of Australia, on behalf of my colleagues, and on my personal behalf at the beginning of the first conference of the Serbian diaspora in Australia, jointly organized by the Australian-Serbian Commerce Chamber and the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia. I'm glad to see so many of you here today from all around Australia, representatives of the Australian and Victorian governments, religious leaders, prominent individuals and leaders of the Serbian community in politics, economy, culture, academia and public life for hopefully a meaningful day of dialogue, strategic cooperation and community building. Symbolically, the conference is held in the week in which Serbia celebrates a holiday, the Day of Serbian Unity, Freedom and the National Flag, commemorating the time when the Serbian army, after 4 years of suffering, started on September 15, 1918, unstoppable breakthrough of the Salonika front, which marked the beginning of the liberation of Serbia in the First World War. This is the first conference and gathering of this type of the Serbian diaspora in Australia, and I'm sure it will be a landmark event which would deepen bilateral relations between the Republic of Serbia and Australia, identify opportunities for practical cooperation in many fields, strengthening the existing and build the new connections between Serbia and its diaspora and Australia, but also among the members of the Serbian community itself. The Republic of Serbia feels the huge potential for bilateral cooperation lies in the Serbian diaspora in Australia. According to the Australian census from 2021, 94,997 persons declared to have the Serbian ancestry, but the estimate of the Republic of Serbia is that number is actually much higher, between 150 and 180,000. Serbia sees the Serbian community in Australia as an important factor in bilateral relations, as a bridge of cooperation between the two countries and a cohesive factor that positively contributes to the overall atmosphere in relations, but which also potentially represents a catalyst for the further development of those relations, including in the field of economy. Serbia and Australia have a long joint history. Although the diplomatic presence in Belgrade and Canberra has been officially established in 1966, the history of people-to-people relations are much older and stronger. Serbia and Australia fought together as allies in both world wars, and these fundamental links are still very vivid. The Republic of Serbia is sincere in the wish to further improve bilateral relations with Australia, to intensify political dialogue as well as the cooperation in many areas. We are also looking forward to commemorate the Jubilee in our relations in 2026. The fact that the Serbia will be a proud host of Specialized Expo 2027 World Exhibition has also huge potential for cooperation, not just with Australia and other countries of the region, but the world. Hosting Specialized Expo 2027 under the theme Play for Humanity, Sports and Music for All will allow Serbia to bring much-deserved attention to the Southeast Europe. Expo 2027 Belgrade will put both organizing country and the broader region on the world map, thus bringing benefits to the surrounding countries and economies. Specialized Expo 2027 in Belgrade will be the first ever expo hosted in the region of Western Balkans and is highly expected in the region of Southeastern Europe, being the first expo to be held there over 3 decades. In these challenging global times, Serbia's hope that Expo 2027 will commence a new bright chapter of history marked by harmony, friendship, and celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republic of Serbia strives to maintain and nurture the ties with the members of the Serbian people, regardless of where they are in the world, by developing personal, cultural, scientific, sporting, and all other types of the relationship. Serbia strongly supports and will be supporting all activities that contribute to the preservation of the Serbian culture and national identity, Serbian language and Cyrillic script. The inalienable right of all Serbs is to preserve and foster Serbian culture and Serbian national identity, to use the Serbian language and Cyrillic script, to study the heroic, just, and libertarian tradition of the Serbian people, to study customs, folklore, literature, and art. I believe that you are aware that the Republic of Serbia since 2023 has started financing supplementary schools of Serbian language, history, and culture, in which the curriculum is approved by the Ministry of Education of the Republic of Serbia. I'm extremely glad that the number of children attending this program is constantly growing, and that in this school year we will have more than 450 students throughout Australia and New Zealand, in Brisbane, Canberra, Auckland, Hamilton, here in Melbourne, from Keysborough through Greensboro to St. Albans, where we have the biggest students overall in Australia, and from this school year, the newest 25th group in Adelaide. Hopefully this process will continue in the same direction next year with the first groups in Perth and Sydney. Only in 2024, the Republic of Serbia has invested nearly 200,000 Australian dollars in the education of the Serbian community in Australia and New Zealand and the preservation of national identity. I'm extremely proud of the aforementioned fact, and I believe that such investment by the Republic of Serbia as a mother in its children abroad represent the best possible investment, as it is for every parent. I would like once again to acknowledge the presence of several teachers of the Serbian language school who are here with us today. Thank you for your efforts and your contribution. Dear guests, the Republic of Serbia, respecting all religions and supporting freedom of religion, is particularly grateful to the Serbian Orthodox Church, which unites the majority of the Serbian people under its auspice. The Serbian Orthodox Church has preserved the Serbian people in the most difficult times, both biologically, culturally, and educationally, and the Republic of Serbia recognizes it as one of the pillars of national, cultural, and spiritual identity, and advocates for closer cooperation between the Church and state authorities on key national interests, including the preservation of territorial integrity and sovereignty of the Republic of Serbia. The Serbian Orthodox Diocese of Australia and New Zealand has been the focal point for the Serbian community in this region for decades. I'm deeply grateful to His Eminence, Metropolitan Siluan, for his cooperation and continuous support to the Republic of Serbia, to the Embassy, and to me personally. I'm also glad to see so many very reverend and reverend fathers of our diocese in Australia, not just from Melbourne, but also from Perth, Adelaide, Sydney. Your presence here is another confirmation of the immense mutual respect, synergy, and spirit of joint work which I have sought to promote and demonstrate since the beginning of my term in Australia. Thank you all for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end, allow me to express my gratitude and in this way send a few thank you notes. First of all, I would like to thank the Australian-Serbian Commerce Chamber, especially President Mr. Stanislav Savic and the Secretary Goran Drožđibob, for your partnership, hard work, and your dedication to this project. I'm confident that the Australian-Serbian Commerce Chamber will continue to growing and playing more and more important role in the economic relations between Serbia and Australia. I'm looking forward to our new joint endeavors in the months to come. Also, I would like especially to thank the three individuals who were part of our small organizing committee since the beginning, namely Ms. Lana Janković-Formoso, Councillor of the City of Greater Dandenong, Dr. Nina Marković-Kaze, Vice President of the Serbian Council of Australia, and my own young colleague, Ms. Ana Kozomara, Attaché at the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia. I would like to thank our MC, Tatjana Pandurević, all panelists and moderators, and the last, but certainly not the least, to our volunteers, Maja, Dragana, Vedrana, Daliborka, Sofia, Ana, Mia, Beran, and another Maja. Of course, this conference would not be possible without the financial support from the government of the Republic of Serbia, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Office for Cooperation with Diaspora and the Serbs in the region, who contributed with 1.9 million Serbian dinars, or around 30,000 Australian dollars. I would like to acknowledge the support of Qantas, the national airline of Australia, who provided a 50% discount on the ticket prices for the participant of this event. Also, I would like to thank Telekom Serbia through its subsidiary company MTEL Global, who entered the Australian market at the beginning of this year with its streaming application called Move. These services allow you watching of more than 300 TV and radio stations from Southeast Europe, but also audiobooks in Serbian language, numerous movies and series from Serbia and all other countries in the region. At the Embassy's kind request, they have provided free annual subscription to Move platform to all supplementary schools of Serbian language, which I have mentioned before. Also, in your gift bags, you will find their leaflets together with a QR code for a 15-day complimentary trial. And feel free to take them, of course, and try the service. I would like also to extend my appreciation to all our other sponsors and supporters. Without all of you, this would not be possible. I wish all of us fruitful discussion and successful conference. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Stefanovic, for your welcome address and for your commitment to deepening the partnership between Serbia, Australia, and our diaspora. It is now my honour to introduce Ms. Tanya Lawrence, Federal Member for Hasluck in the Australian House of Representatives. Today, Ms. Lawrence joins us on behalf of the Honorary Dr. Annie Al, Minister for International Development, Minister for Small Business, and Minister for Multicultural Affairs. Since entering Federal Parliament in May of 2022, Ms. Lawrence has served on key committees including Economics, trade and investment growth, and constitutional and electoral matters. She brings a wealth of experience from both public policy and private enterprise, having worked in government advising roles, the resources sector, and as managing director of her own small business. On an additional but very important note, Ms. Lawrence has served as the chairperson of Serbia's country group in the 47th Australian Federal Parliament. Born and raised in Western Australia, Ms. Lawrence is deeply committed to delivering for Hasluck, especially on issues like cost of living, environment, healthcare, and creating secure jobs. Please welcome Ms. Tanya Lawrence.
Dobro jutro. Good morning, and in celebrating Australia's multiculturalism and in particular Serbia's contribution, it is fitting to begin by acknowledging our first Australians' culture and traditions. And I pay my respect to the elders, past, present and emerging, of the Eastern Kulin Nation, of the Wurundjeri and Burrarung peoples. On behalf of Minister Anne Ali, I would like to thank you very much for the invitation to speak at this very first conference of the Serbian diaspora in Australia. Minister Ali has asked me to pass on her apologies due to long-standing commitments that have held her to stay in Western Australia. I welcome to Australia and acknowledge Mr. Damјan Јovиć, State Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I should definitely have known that. My dear friend, His Excellency Ambassador Rade Stefanović, His Eminence Archbishop Siluan, and President of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce, Sasha Savic. To all my parliamentary colleagues and dignitaries, thank you so much for all being here together. Australia has, of course, had a long relationship with Serbia, and as the Ambassador said, our connection is first forged in blood with at least 1,500 Australian and New Zealand volunteers, including doctors, nurses, ambulance drivers, soldiers serving in Serbia or alongside the Serbian army during the Serbian campaign of World War I before Gallipoli. And I commend the Victorian RSL and the Serbian government for honouring and commemorating in Belgrade in 2023 the 28 Australian and 15 New Zealand servicemen buried there. And of course, following World War II, where again, together with Serbia, Australia sided with the Allies to fight against fascism and Nazism. From there on, we welcome migrants to Australia in even larger numbers. And in those 80 years since, our nation's identity has been shaped by those who choose to call Australia home. The Serbian diaspora in Australia has played a significant role in the development of Australia with contributions across business, science, medicine, sport, the arts and education. People like Bojan Pajic, the historian and author, household names in media like Karl and Peter Stefanović, sports, of course, Jelena Dokic and Tom Rogic across every tier of politics. And to this end, I'd love to acknowledge my federal parliamentary colleague, Senator Alex Antic, Clara Andrich, member of the WA Legislative Council, local government councillors Lana Formosa and Mihailo Mijatovic. Lucky for Australia, my husband's family came out in 1969, first settling in Footscray, as my husband says they referred to it as. They thought it was foot area, but bringing his father's engineering experience to a country determined to build a 20th century powerhouse economy. And lucky for me, because I ended up with a beautiful, olive-skinned, tall, handsome and intelligent and deeply loving husband. And I was excited to hear perhaps more than 95,000 Australians claim Serbian ancestry, and the ties between our two countries are strengthened by shared goals. And let's just take a moment just to celebrate and congratulate the tremendous effort of Ambassador Stefanović for his role in securing the signing of the social security agreement, so Australian residents living in Serbia can now claim the Australian age pension, and Serbian residents here have better access to Serbian retirement pensions. Congratulations. There is also growing business activity and investment in Serbia, particularly in the resources sector. And this is an area of great Australian expertise, particularly from those from Western Australia. And I know there are many in this area, in this diaspora, and to lend my support to the words of Sasha, that this is where I really do see there's the opportunity to bridge gaps in understanding about how, in this context, minds can be managed, developed, and rehabilitated to give some reassurance to the communities, particularly now in Serbia, who are perhaps not close to understanding just the opportunities and the jobs that this sector can really create for the nation. And so I think that this will be perhaps something that can be discussed further in the panels, but welcome ideas as to how we can really develop that relationship. And then, of course, we all value the sharing of Serbian culture and traditions in Australia. And at a time when the world is marked by division, we are reminded, and we didn't get to sing it this morning, but the second verse of our national anthem calls us, with courage, let us all combine to advance Australia fair. And courage is a loaded word. It's a specific word. It's amazing that that was the word that was the lady chose in our anthem, because to have courage is to overcome fear, to have an open mind, to be receptive to new ways of thinking, of doing. So with courage, let us all combine. So we are at a pivotal moment. And while there may be some who try to divide us, we have an extraordinary opportunity to create an even more inclusive, authentic, and forward-looking nation. And the Serbian diaspora has long been part of that shared story, enriching Australia. My husband reminded me of the Serbian saying, and I'm going to be apologies for my poor Serbian. I didn't do well at the start and probably won't do it well here, because I know this is a really significant, with significant religious and cultural connotations, so my apologies if I say it poorly, but I do feel it applies to Australia, and that is samo sloga Srbina spasava. Only unity saves the Serbian people. Unity strengthens Australia too. Unity of values, of ambition, and being united in our commitment to respecting each other's heritage, language, culture. It enables us all to advance Australia fair. And being that multicultural nation, it is Australia's greatest strength. And it is in this spirit that Minister Ali is the first ever Minister for Multicultural Affairs in Cabinet, a telling signal that the Australian government is placing multiculturalism at the centre of Australia's national agenda. And Minister Ali has issued a big challenge and an invitation to all that together we reimagine multiculturalism. When I was growing up, we referred to multiculturalism as a melting pot, where everyone's cultures, perspectives, religions, customs all into one pot and they all melt, and then out comes a rather framed Anglo-Celtic dominance. But more recently, I've heard it referred to as a salad, where all the ingredients are tossed together in one beautiful dish, but all the flavours remain distinct. And I love that. And where we are now, the time is to focus on how we shift the migrant story, how we address disadvantage and embed these changes into our institutions and into our community co-designs to ensure multiculturalism is well and truly at the core of our nation and, of course, our future. We want to reshape what modern Australia, modern multicultural Australia means now and into the future. Perhaps this will also add another interesting dimension to the discussions on the panel today. And we certainly welcome you on the exciting next step on our multicultural journey, and we look forward to your continuing contributions in shaping Australia's identity. We are stronger united. Have a great conference. Thank you. Pala.
Ms. Tanya Lawrence, thank you very much for your warm words and for your reference of a very historic Serbian saying, Samo sloga Srbina spasava. And with that, we'll take that unity throughout the day to continue strengthening relations between Australia and Serbia. It is now my great honour to welcome our next speaker, the Honorary Natalie Hutchins, a senior member of the Victorian Government and a passionate advocate for fairness, equality and opportunity. Natalie currently serves as Minister for Government Services, Minister for Treaty and First Peoples, Minister for Prevention of Family Violence, and Minister for Women. Over her career, she has championed causes ranging from improving conditions for vulnerable workers to ensuring equal pay and equal representation for women in government. She has also been deeply involved in advancing education, community development, and the treaty process with Victoria's traditional owners. Please welcome Minister Natalie Hutchins.
Thank you very much. Dobro jutro. I'm not the best Serbian speaker, I apologise. Despite having a second family that are Serbian, they do try to constantly talk to me in Serbian. I want to thank you for the warm welcome here today, and it is fantastic to be here. And I also would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay my respects, and certainly say how proud I am that Victoria is going down the track of signing its first treaty with our First Nations people and leading the way across Australia. His Excellency Rade Stefanov, thank you for your beautiful speech. That was great. I really was so impressed. And I think my first time meeting you as the ambassador. And thank you for all your work today in bringing this together. Along with Damјan Јović, thank you. And all of the volunteers that have been a part of today as well in bringing it together. His Eminency Solun Archbishop, thank you for being here. And to Sasha Savic, who spoke earlier, really the Serbian Chamber of Commerce are a powerhouse, and I think today's conference is representative of the work that you do. My colleague Lee Talamas, who is here, a member for the South East and a champion of multiculturalism, full stop, but of the Serbian diaspora as well. Our federal colleagues, Senator Alex Antic and Tanya, what a great speech. Thank you for giving us that salad analogy. I love that. And Evan Mulholland, who's here from the opposition, representing Brad Button, member for Northern Metro, to all of the councillors that are here from our various councils who are of Serbian background. Thank you for all you do in representing our local communities. And I want to say, you know, we've got some pretty powerful Serbian women here in Victoria who are leading the way when it comes to politics here in Victoria. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and this event is a really powerful testament to the strength of the Serbian diaspora and is really important in deepening that relationship between Serbia and Australia. And I pass on the apologies of the Premier, Jacinta Allen, who is in China this week, but would have loved to have been here. She knows the importance of bringing together business leaders and government and a cultural lens to be able to do business better and support each other locally, drive economic growth and cultural exchange at the same time. And the connections I know are going to be made today will build upon that strength for years to come. Led by His Excellency, the Ambassador, the Serbian Embassy plays such an important role here in Australia. It provides essential consular services and actively promotes Serbian culture across Australia, but for me, particularly here in the west of Melbourne. It also strengthens bilateral relations by facilitating cooperations in areas like trade, diplomacy, and importantly, tourism as well. Victoria is proudly home to one of the most culturally diverse societies, and we've seen challenges to that in the last few weeks. We've seen some really terrible behaviours on the streets of our city, but I know in our local communities people are still rallying around each other and supporting each other. Just last weekend, I held a walk against family violence in my local community. 120 people turned up without much advertising from all different ethnic groups, faiths, and they walked together. They walked together for an hour and a half and built new relationships and new friendships and took a stand against violence against women and children in our community. And to me, that is a symbol of strength of our diversity here. The Serbian community in particular has made a lasting mark on Victoria's cultural landscape. I want to take the opportunity to thank the teachers of our Serbian schools. The one in my area is absolutely instrumental in keeping language and culture alive. And I know from my experience of having lots of Serbian neighbours and friends and constituents that our Serbian diaspora are not short of an opinion. And they will let you know, yes, they will let you know. And I really encourage that. I really encourage that because the more that people can take those opinions and turn them into leadership roles in our community, the better. The better, I say. So on behalf of the Allan Labor government, I thank you for greatly enriching our local communities across Victoria. Today is a historic conference. I was so pleased to get the invitation to be part of today. And thank you to your commitment for fostering cultural exchange and strengthening our bilateral ties. I look forward to the foundations that are laid today, bringing better connections for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Natalie Hutchins, for your messages of community, connection, and diversity. Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge a message we received from Senator Paul Scar, Liberal National Senator for Queensland and Shadow Minister for Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs, who unfortunately could not be with us today due to prior commitments. Senator Scar shared his deep appreciation for this historic occasion, writing, "This conference represents a significant opportunity to strengthen the bonds between Serbia and its diaspora and to celebrate the contributions of Serbian Australians to our national life." His words capture the very spirit of today's summit, honouring our heritage, strengthening ties between Serbia and Australia, and celebrating the enduring role of Serbian Australians in shaping our multicultural nation. Words that Minister Natalie Hutchins so beautifully represented as well. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Evan Mulholland, Member of the Victorian Legislative Council for the Northern Metropolitan Region. He currently serves as Shadow Minister for Major Projects, Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs, and Shadow Minister for Arts and Creative Industries. A locally rooted leader, Mr. Mulholland holds a Bachelor of Arts from La Trobe University and has built his career as a consultant, government advisor, and communications professional. He is deeply committed to ensuring that Victoria's diverse communities are heard and supported. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Evan Mulholland.
Well, thank you very much, Tatiana, for that warm introduction. Can I start too by acknowledging the traditional elders on the land on which we meet and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I'm very proud to be here representing Brad Batten, the Leader of the Opposition, who sends his absolute best wishes for this conference. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency Rade Stefanovic, the Ambassador, and the hard-working organised committee of this very first conference of the Serbian diaspora in Australia. I would also like to acknowledge Sasha Savic, the Australian Serbian from the Australian Serbian Chamber of Commerce, Ms Tanya Lawrence MP representing RNLE, my colleagues the Honourable Natalie Hutchins and Lee Talamis, and of course His Eminence Sulan Makrak, the Serbian Orthodox Archbishop of Sydney, Wellington, Metropolitan of Australia and New Zealand. The Honourable Damјan Јović, the State Secretary and Deputy Foreign Minister of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia. My old friend, Senator Alex Antic, who's very much young at heart, and Clara Andrick, MP as well. Ambassadors, former ambassadors, mayors, councillors, of course, Reverend Fathers and clergy who are here today, distinguished guests. It's great to be here. Dobro jutro. I greatly appreciate the importance of being part of this historic gathering today for the first conference. I really hope it goes well for the rest of the day. Those cultural exchanges continue, new economic activities form for this great state of Victoria and of course with Serbia as well. I want to extend my warmest greetings and heartfelt congratulations to the Serbian community for gathering together to celebrate your rich heritage and your vibrant culture, your faith and the enduring spirit that unites you in this great country, Australia, which you now call home. Multiculturalism is one of, if not Victoria's greatest strength. Our state is enriched by diverse backgrounds, traditions and stories that every single community brings. The Serbian community have been a vital part of that vibrant tapestry, and it's enriched by our diverse backgrounds, traditions and stories that every single community brings. Victoria is home to the second largest Serbian community in Australia, with over 30,000 people of Serbian ancestry. And like the Serbians of the 50s, 60s and 70s, my late nonna and nonno arrived from a small town called Lamezia Terme in Calabria, Italy in the 50s with nothing but a suitcase to their name. And I know the story of many Serbian diaspora is very, very similar. But you've worked really hard and provided for families, for generations, made a go of it, made a go in business, science, academia, trade, and it has been terrific to see the Serbian community prosper here in Victoria. Thank you, Ambassador, for highlighting in your speech as well the importance of freedom of religion to the Serbian diaspora here and the importance that plays and faith plays as part of Serbian culture and identity. And your faith, traditions, language and customs are the pillars that uphold your identity both individually and collectively. They connect you to your roots and provide a sense of belonging that transcends generations and transcends geographic boundaries as well. And preserving faith is more than religious practice. It's about sustaining a moral compass, a community spirit, and values that nurture resilience and compassion. With the Serbian Orthodox Church, your festivals, your music, your cuisine, and your language are not only treasured aspects of your heritage, but also bridges that link the past with the present and the future, I hope, for many, many years to come. And the Liberals and Nationals will continue to advocate for the role of faith to play a central role in our multicultural settings, because multiculturalism cannot be disconnected from faith as a key pillar in your identity. And this was on display last year when the government here sought to enact its election commitment to replace or remove the Lord's Prayer from parliamentary proceedings. And it was only after many faith groups from all different faiths across Victoria signed my petition, which achieved tens of thousands of signatures, that that election commitment was abandoned. And that 168-year tradition will continue. Faith provides comfort it provides hope, it provides meaning in life, it can motivate action and foster self-reflection and encourage pursuit of higher goals. And for many religious traditions, faith is a foundation and for a relationship with God or the divine, leading to a sense of salvation, forgiveness, and ethical living. And faith is just as important as preserving language, but language is also important as well. And I know that many of you go to great lengths to pass on your language and traditions to your future generations as well. And I'm, as Shadow Minister for Multicultural Affairs here in this great state, I'm committed to advocating for policies and programs that empower diaspora communities to continue to thrive and keep their traditions alive. It is through celebrating and embracing our diversity that we build a stronger, more inclusive Victoria, and it's through that cultural diversity, and it's through that keeping your faith, your culture, your language and your traditions alive, that those trade links and those important economic links become that much closer, and today is an important part of that. So I want to thank you for your warm welcome, and together let us continue to celebrate this richness of our multicultural journey together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evan Malolan, in particular for your messages around faith, culture, and everything you do around multiculturalism in Australia. I would now like to introduce Ambassador Damјan Јовиć, State Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia. Ambassador Jović has spent his career representing Serbia on the international stage and plays a critical role in shaping Serbia's foreign policy and strengthening ties with diaspora communities worldwide. Today, his presence is a reminder of the deep and enduring connection between Serbia and its people abroad, and the importance of engaging with the Serbian community in Australia. Please welcome Mr. Damјan Јovиć.
Your Eminence Metropolitan Siloan, representatives of the institutions of Australia, Ambassador Stefanović, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, brothers and sisters. Usually when among Serbian people across the world, I prefer to speak in Serbian. However, having in mind that we have representatives of Australia here with us today, I want to show respect to the country that warmly welcomed you, received you, and provided a good life to you and your families. Therefore, I'll speak in English, and I might make some brief comments in Serbian as well. It is an honor to stand before you today on the other side of the world from our homeland, yet feeling so close to it because of you. On this occasion, we mark the opening of the first Serbian Diaspora Summit in Australia, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to address you and to support the establishment of this important forum, which will strengthen the ties and unity among Serbian people here, but also contribute to the cooperation and friendship between Australia and Serbia. This is particularly important given the fact that our diaspora in Australia is one of the largest communities of Serbian people in the world. For decades, you have preserved your national identity, culture, and language, passing them down to your children. Many of you have excelled in business, medicine, sports, science, and we thank you for bringing honor to the Serbian name. Wherever our people may go, we carry with us the faith, spirit, and values that have kept us unified for ages. Just 2 days ago, on September 15th, we celebrated the Day of the Serbian Unity, Freedom, and National Flag, which commemorates the breakthrough of the Salonika Front in the World War I. We have indeed faced and endured many challenges throughout history, numerous wars, migrations, political and economic instabilities that tested our strength. Unfortunately, despite many reminders of our complex history, which is rich, yet often painful, there are still times when we let our personal differences and rivalries divide us. I ovde bih iskoristio ovu priliku da vas zamolim da uspehe svakog našeg pojedinca slavite kao svoj sopstveni uspeh i kao uspehe svih nas zajedno. Da po strani ostavite i zavist i ljubomoru, jer uspeh svakog našeg pojedinca donosi slavu srpskom imenu i jača ugled svih nas širom sveta. Here in Australia, I see Serbs coming together through our church, chores, films, and theater organizations, Serbian schools, folklore groups, and sport clubs. I see people of different generations, backgrounds, and beliefs come together and celebrate the one thing they have in common, their shared heritage. For this reason, we have to understand that no matter our differences or which path we choose to take in life, we are the strongest when we are united. It does not always mean we think the same, but that in the end, our Serbian bond and connection prevail. That is why we want to ensure that our children continue to speak the same language and sing the same songs. You yourself have contributed greatly to this cause, remaining united, gathering within places and organizations that promote Serbian identity. I hvala vam na velikom i nesebičnom trudu da očuvate čak i ovako udaljenim mestima od Srbije našu kulturu, veru, identitet i jezik. As I state, we need to acknowledge that we have not always done enough. As a state, we need to acknowledge that we have not always done enough to nurture its connection with the diaspora. Distance, bureaucracy, and lack of attention might have at times made some people feel like their voices are not fully heard. The Serbian diaspora, however, is an inseparable part of our nation. That is why, through projects aided by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Directorate for Cooperation with the Diaspora, we strive to support the work of Serbian schools, arts, and cultural events, as well as gatherings such as this great conference today. And we aim to work even harder to support your initiatives and make it known that your country always stands by your side. I iskoristit ću ovu priliku da vam kažem, izvinite za svaku svesnu ili nesvesnu grešku koju je Srbija možda prema vama učinila ili prema nekim vašim predsima u prošlosti. Te greške ne smemo da ponovimo, iz tih grešaka moramo da učimo, da izvučemo pouke, jer smo za sopstvene greške i poneke zablude već platili preveliku cenu. As we reflect on our people's unity here in Australia, we cannot overlook the vital role of our church in keeping us connected. For centuries, it has been a place of gathering where anyone could have a sense of belonging, no matter the distance from our homeland. Therefore, I would like to use this opportunity to express deep gratitude to the Serbian Orthodox Church here in Australia and in New Zealand for always being the heart of our community and the guiding light. I čuvajmo i gradimo naše crkve, jer tamo gde država nije mogla, tamo gde države nije bilo, crkva je učinila da kao narod opstanemo i da sačuvamo ono što čini biće srpskog naroda. Today, Serbia is moving forward. Our economy is growing and our presence in the global stage is becoming stronger. Last year, Serbia was the second fastest growing European economy. In 2027, we will be the proud host of the Expo, specialized exhibition in Belgrade, and the world will gather in our capital to celebrate humanity through sport and music and strengthen connections between peoples. We sincerely hope that the Australia confirms its participants and look forward to welcoming its people to Serbia on this occasion. Next year also marks the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Serbia and Australia. Since 1966, our two nations have built a partnership founded on mutual respect, cooperation, and dialogue. However, it is not only through our governments that we have strengthened our relations, but through you, the Serbian community here in Australia, that represents a living bridge between our two countries. As we celebrate these upcoming milestones and events, we are reminded of how important it is to further improve our relations for years and generations to come. And lastly, I would like to conclude by saying once again, thank you for preserving our culture. Thank you for showing the world that being Serbian means being hardworking, resilient, and proud. Serbia will never forget its people, no matter how far away they are. Our country is not just a place on a map. It lives wherever its people live, and as long as we carry it in our hearts, the homeland is with us. Na samom kraju želim još samo da vas zamolim da ne zaboravite i da se molite za naše raspeto Kosovo i Metohiju, jer dok pamtimo nisu nam ga oteli. Živela Srbija i živela srpska dijaspora.
Thank you, Mr. Jović, for your valuable perspective on Serbia's partnership with its diaspora and your strong words of support. Thank you also for your messages, encouraging all Serbians to be proud of the achievements of Serbian people in Australia and in our diaspora. We really appreciate your messages of unity and continued support. I would now like to introduce our final address in this opening session, which will be delivered by His Eminence Metropolitan Siluan, Archbishop of Sydney and Wellington and Metropolitan of Australia and New Zealand. His Eminence has dedicated his life to faith, education, and community, guiding not only the Serbian Orthodox Church across Australia and New Zealand, but also inspiring the next generation through initiatives such as Sveti Sava College. Through his leadership, he continues the legacy of those who built and nurtured the Serbian Orthodox Church in Australia, reminding us of the importance of faith, culture, and education in preserving our identity across generations. It is my great honour to invite His Eminence Metropolitan Siluan to the stage for his address and blessing.
Vaše ekscelencije, Your Excellencies, gospodine Joviću, državni sekretaru, Ministarstvo spoljnih poslova Republike Srbiје, hvala vam na vašim predivnim rečima i obraćanju i ovako jednom ohrabrenju da nastavimo putem koji trebamo kao narod na ovim prostorima, a mnogo je važno kada imamo nekoga ko nam dolazi iz matice i u to nas uverava da smo na pravom kursu i naravno daje nam ohrabrenje da nastavimo sa onim što se naši prethodnici i sve naše generacije trude da učine, to je da očuvaju svoje srpsko ime, svoju veru, svoju kulturu i naravno da koliko mogu doprinose i budu deo ovoga predivnog društva gde se nalazimo. I'd also like to acknowledge our very reverend fathers that are here, all the representatives of the Australian government and political life of this beautiful nation. I'd like to also acknowledge and greet all the esteemed participants of this first landmark Serbian Diaspora Summit here in Australia. And I'd like to also greet all the people that will be a part of the panel, all the friends of the Serbian community, all our beloved brothers and sisters. Pomaže Bog and dobro jutro. It is my distinct privilege, honor, and joy to address this distinguished gathering, brought together under the auspices of the Serbian Embassy in Australia, with the noble aim of fostering stronger diplomatic and economic ties between the Republic of Serbia and the Commonwealth of Australia. As the Archbishop and Metropolitan of the Serbian Orthodox Church in Australia and New Zealand, I offer my sincere prayers and blessings for the success of this convention, which is the first of its kind organised here down under. The strengthening of bilateral relations between our two nations is of great importance, not only for the economic prosperity it promises, but also for the spiritual, cultural, and communal bonds it continues to nurture. Australia has offered a new home to many Serbian families over generations, and the Serbian community here has integrated well, has contributed to the social, economic, and cultural fabric of this country. At the same time, like many other communities in Australia, the Serbian community remains deeply connected to its ancestral heritage, to its faith, Orthodox faith, the church, and traditions. In light of this, we can say that today's gathering is more than an economic or business forum. It is a testament to the enduring friendship and mutual respect between the Australian and Serbian people. As was mentioned previously by our wonderful speakers, the Serbian Orthodox Church and the Metropolitanate of Australia and New Zealand has played and continues to play a pivotal role in not only preserving the Orthodox Christian faith, the Serbian language and culture down under, but also in preaching and sharing the timeless truths of the Christian faith, the Holy Gospel, with all Australians, with all those who hunger and thirst for the good news, with all those who labour and are heavy laden. Furthermore, the Serbian Orthodox Church continues to contribute to community cohesion, peace and unity, calling all its faithful to embrace love and respect fellow neighbour, to be truthful to the Holy Gospel, which stipulates that all men and women are created in the image and likeness of God, and therefore share a common dignity and equality. This is especially pertinent in this day and age of much division, as was mentioned, and animosity, and also revision, where we are witnesses to the erosion of family and other fundamental, dare I say, Christian values and core truths and beliefs that have shaped this nation and made it so appealing to those seeking refuge, peace and prosperity for themselves and their families. It is our prayer that the discussions and deliberations during this conference be fruitful, marked by wisdom, vision, and a shared commitment to the flourishing of both Australia and Serbia. I extend once again my heartfelt welcome and acknowledge the State Secretary of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Serbia, Mr. Damјan Јović, who has travelled from Serbia to be with us here for this summit. I would also like to express my sincere acknowledgements and gratitude to His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia, Mr. Rade Stefanović, for his tireless work and contributions in really bringing together, helping the church as hand in hand, bringing together our people and really helping us build stronger bonds with the broader community. I would also like to acknowledge the Embassy's efforts and also the efforts and collaboration of the Australian-Serbian Chamber of Commerce for spearheading this initiative, very significant initiative, and I pray that the Lord strengthen you all, grant you further inspiration and success in all future noble endeavours that you embark on. In closing, I would once again like to acknowledge all the most esteemed participants of this summit, praying that the Lord bless your deliberations and make them exceedingly fruitful. Bog vas blagoslovio, may God bless this gathering and may it be fruitful. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Eminence, for your blessing and for your guidance in preserving our faith, culture, and identity. Before we break for morning tea, I would like to invite all our speakers back to the stage where they will be presented with certificates of appreciation by His Excellence Mr. Rade Stefanović, followed by a group photo.